All right. Hello again, adventurers, and welcome to another exciting episode of Traversing the Veil. Yes, this is one of my custom D&D campaigns set in my screwed up custom campaign setting, and the people below me are the people who haven't quite figured out a way to bow out with respect and dignity. So once they figured it out, then we'll cross that bridge when it comes.
Respect wouldn't be a problem. Let's go deuces, double bird flip, and walk. I mean,
Quick announcement on my YouTube channel today. A new D&D deep dive launched with the mighty Jerd, who's a buddy of mine, was able to guest on it. So youtube.com/trainer Jody. Check it out. It was a really cool conversation we had about bards specifically and how to homebrew for them. Otherwise, I think since we're a little bit late, let's return to Traversing the Veil. The city of Ebia is a complicated city with very little law to be seen. The city can seem simultaneously as a bastion of freedom, while also being controlled by the most unscrupulous of people and groups. The party decided, since they may have had a tale, to head into Abia to find some work. But when they got there, they discovered that getting around in Abia is a little bit more about who you know than it is what you want. So after having a negative interaction with one of the local organizations that are there, they decided to head to the local guild hall / arena and look for work, which they eventually did find, specifically as exterminators. They've now been told that a area where goods are stored and the things like that, a storehouse, has an infestation of cloakers that need to be dealt with. So they went to the library to brush up on their cloaker knowledge and made the decision to make any other preparation they needed before taking their new job as exterminators. So, when we last left you all, you had just figured out a fairly decent amount of information about cloakers. They're not fond of light. They are remarkably difficult to find, and if they do attack you, they like to latch on.
you also know about their moan.
Yes, they'll just complain about anything, and eventually the complaining gets so bad that you don't want to be anywhere near them. You can't even afford to look at them anymore.
We also know about their displacement kind of ability. Like mirror image kind of thing, right?
Similar. That particular ability is not remarkably well studied, or at least not in the books that you have. So they haven't been able to give you a specific description of how it works, just that sometimes when you look at a cloaker, you will see more cloakers than are actually there.
above board. I've dealt with them before, but I'm going by what we were told and what we learned, which was a surprising amount.
You guys rolled pretty well, and one of you is a sage, so
Yep.
it didn't hurt.
Yeah.
At this point, it's getting pretty late in the day. The library itself is just starting to close, despite the fact that you guys haven't seen a librarian in this building yet. You are getting encouraged to leave by a couple different people. You're not sure if they are librarians, if they are other staff, if they are security.
If they are cats.
Yeah, you're not 100% certain who they are because they just show up and go, "Oh, we're closing, get out." And then they disappear again.
Just really curt hipsters.
But yeah, so it is evening right now, getting into kind of the dusk twilight at the time. If you guys wanted to go find something to eat, you could do that. It's about dinner time. You guys could head back to your ship to sleep there. If you wanted to stay in the city itself, you could find lodging here. There's plenty of places to sleep. What are you guys thinking?
You guys getting hungry?
Well, I think it's just you, me, and Crexney just jotting down notes.
I'll say, I mean, Reggie is.
He's back at the ship. We did take him back to the ship.
Oh yeah, so you were Reggie.
I was actually just about to ask where I was.
Yeah, Ogun. They strapped you to Ogun, and Ogun went back to the ship with you. So when you eventually wake up, there's a large metallic cat just kind of staring at you.
We got some smoked lenses on you, and you're just like couple of poles.
You're kind of effectively halfway in your hammock, because getting into a hammock when you're conscious is a difficult process. Having a quadrupedal animal attempt to throw you into a hammock, you have like an arm and half a leg in there. The rest of you is like on the floor.
I am perfectly perpendicular. I'm just hanging over the middle, just limp.
Just to point out, Thomas is on the ship too.
Yeah, Stowe.
He has not left his bunk the entire time you guys have been in Ebia.
Nice.
The propaganda about Ebia is particularly virulent amongst the military populations, specifically low-ranking military are told very clearly you do not go in Ebia.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think we've all learned why.
So, do you guys want to head back to the ship and pick up Reggie and get dinner? Do you guys want to,
yeah,
like, you have food
probably.
there? Like, what are you all thinking?
Well, will we be doing the long rests, or
You'll get a long rest after did dinner.
Okay.
I mean, Reggie would have had enough time to take a short rest, so if you wanted to burn a few hit dice just so he has positive hit dice, he could. But beyond that, so what do you guys wanted to do?
I mean, dinner is fine considering how much we just got shook down for. I'm gonna be for sleeping on the ship.
Okay, you got a point.
But dinner, though, if you have anything in plan for that.
No thanks. I think you're right.
Get some takeout.
There are food carts throughout the city. Like every block or two, you'll see at least one food cart if you guys want to go that route. Or there are more traditional restaurants and other things.
Yeah, the takeout does sound... maybe we can get some food to go.
I'm down. We would have discussed this with Reggie when we got back to the ship, seeing if we wanted to.
So let's say you guys, just to keep things kind of going, let's say you guys return to the ship and you find Reggie a little bit groggy, with Ogun still watching him like a hawk, since Crexia has not given him any other commands other than watch Reggie.
Reggie is just letting out like the occasional groan, but he is still just hanging limp right there. As far as you know, he has not moved, but he is letting out like little like every like couple seconds.
Oh, then off.
Ogun kind of looks at you and looks at Krexney and goes back to just watching Reggie.
Ogun just basically gave you the Steel Defender version of "You're not my supervisor."
It seems Ogun is really enjoying the fact that Reggie hasn't moved this entire time. Every so often you'll see Ogun just kind of reach a metallic paw out, almost touch him, and then not. Get real close and sniff him. Move back.
He just knocks him to see him like swing back and forth on the hammock a little bit.
Aw.
Before it settles back.
Well, he wasn't allowed to touch him other than putting him there, so he doesn't touch. But every so often he gets close enough to.
No touchy human.
Okay,
No touchy human.
If it's all right with you, Dungeon Master, I would like to roll a dexterity check for something.
To
if you
do
don't mind.
what?
The next time the Steel Defender tries to paw at me, I want to just like react and just like reach up and like grab its paw by the wrist.
Okay.
Are you pretending to be unconscious?
I'm finally starting to come to consciousness, and I'm realizing where I am, and I'm like, why is this thing poking me? Stop.
So go ahead and make your. It'll be a contested check.
That is a 14.
Hopes if I actually have a d20. Yeah, as you kind of really quickly try to catch it, right before you can get your hands around it, Ogon kind of sees the movement and he kind of leaps back into like a low stance. He butt wiggles a little bit.
Yeah, Reggie just kind of like, he's still hanging, just kind of like slowly turns his head and goes, stop. And then he just tries to get out of the hammock, but realizes he's got like nothing under. He's got nothing under his arms. And he just kind of like falls on his back.
And as you hit the floor, now Ogon is satisfied and goes back to Krexney.
I poke my head down the stairs. Oh, good, you're up.
You okay down there?
I'm okay. He kind of sits up, kind of assesses himself, looks around. One of the floorboards is loose, so he just kind of puts it back into place. Adjusts his clothes, make sure he has everything, and very uncharacteristically to Reggie, he's not talking as he's walking out of the cargo hold and rejoining the party. I was like, what'd I miss?
We got our asses handed to us.
Yeah, I
Ben.
kinda saved you guys.
I reimbursed you.
Yeah, you did.
Well.
Then we got work.
Oh, we did, didn't we?
Yeah, we gotta
Yeah, we're tasked with exterminating a bunch of cloakers. And we've been doing our research on them in preparation.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting, though, how a warehouse got infested with cloakers. So.
I'm sure we'll find out when we get there. And he basically just walks past everyone, like, heading up to the deck and off the ship. Like, he is not bantering like he typically does.
I kind of just lean over to Aoi and it's like, I think his ego's bruised a little bit.
Oh.
I can relate.
Oh dear.
His lungs may also be bruised, but that's beside the point.
Okay, he's been hanging on his chest like for hours.
So to kind of keep things going, as you guys go out, at this time of night, because it's around dinner time, one of the first things that you notice even on this lower level that's kind of scummy and things and does it, the scent when you first came here was kind of like sour milk almost. Now, however, you are kind of overwhelmed with the smell of fresh food. Because it is dinner time basically throughout the entire city. Every single cart has been cooking a little bit extra. This is when they get their every single restaurant is having more stuff. So as you kind of come out, you can smell fresh baked bread. You can smell sweets in the air, roasted meats. Every so often, you will smell more kind of pungent odors of more unique food and the things like that, with that have significantly more spices and things added to them. Whether you enjoy those scents or not is up to you, but it is most definitely, most obviously dinner time. So what would you all like to do?
Reggie, because I think he already kind of walked ahead of everyone, he is actually... food is definitely on his mind, but he's actually not going to be heading to dinner just yet. I can't remember if this was described last session, but are there any actual, like, weapon shops or any shops that would sell, like, buy or sell in, like, simple
Where
weapons?
you guys are, no. However, the Arena Guildhall place you're at has weapon shops that are, because again, it's an arena right next to it. There's quite a few weapon shops that there.
Okay, so
it would be
still
getting
kind
a
of...
little bit later in the day, so some of them are starting to close up shop, but there's enough that are still operating that you wouldn't have a problem finding kind of generic weapons and things like that.
Okay, considering that they're kind of on the process of slowly closing at the end of the day, Reggie's going to take care of some business over at one of those places, and then he's going to rejoin everyone for dinner. So yeah, Reggie's going to be walking...
Just to be clear, so you're going off on your own? Not opposing. I'm just checking in. I just want to make sure are we with you or are you going off solo?
He's going off. This is an intentional decision based on how he's feeling right now. He's going off on his own, but he's making sure that, because it sounds like all this is kind of happening in the same overall, like, large area, right?
Well,
is it? Or am I misunderstanding how this place is structured?
So the place that your guys' ship is in a side alley off of a side alley. To get to the arena, for the life of me, I cannot remember what I called it literally 2 weeks ago. Rabble Rouser, I think that's what it's called. Yeah. To get to the Rabble Rouser is about a 20-ish minute walk. Add an additional 10 minute if you avoid that area where you had the initial interaction with that lovely group of tax collectors. So this is a different part of the city. It's still the same city, but you're a significant distance away from your friends if you go off on your own.
Okay, well then if that's the case, I change my mind.
Okay. But, you can mention to them that you want to go there as well. Like, again, there's food in that direction. So if the goal is to get food, they can get food while also going in the same direction as you.
If the shops are going to close first, the places with the food are going to stay open. Go to the shop first. And have your heart set on something.
Some that I feel like I have to take care of sooner rather than later.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, we'll be with you all the way.
Oh, well, thank you kindly. So yeah, Reggie's going in that direction then.
Okay. Again, you guys have been here long enough that you've kind of figured out how to get there without too much difficulty. As you walk in, you can see a fair number of the weapon shops are kind of cleaning shelves and kind of closing their stalls, or in the process of closing their stalls. Whereas the different kind of restaurants and things like that are putting out additional chairs and are actually expanding into some of the area that was originally taken up by weapon stands and other things like that. It's kind of an interesting thing where in the kind of outer circle, most of the weapon shops have something like a restaurant or something else similar to that on the opposite side. And as the weapon shop closes off, they will actually bring their merchandise in, and the other shop will actually start extending their services outward. And so walking around at night is a different experience, with different shops and different layouts and a different path that you have to walk and every other thing. So is there something in particular that you're looking for?
Yes. The first thing I'd like to do is I got a couple things on my person that I am actually looking to possibly sell if any of the places are willing to take them. And I am going to be on the lookout for any kind of ranged weapons, like bows or like short bows or crossbows.
So without too much difficulty, you do find a bowyer that is just barely starting to pack up stuff. You could see he's taking out some of the targets that he has to kind of demonstrate, and he's starting to push them in. Most of his bows and things like that are actually along the back wall of his little area in this hallway, so it doesn't need to bring them in much. And as he sees you kind of looking at the merchandise, he comes over. So, you interested in something that fires fast or far?
Considering the experiences that I've been having lately, good sir, I'm looking for something with a little bit more distance. Something where I can keep myself in a relatively safe spot. What would you personally recommend?
Well, it kind of depends on what you're particularly used to using. You know, a lot of these things are not... well, for example... We've got, and he picks a light crossbow up. It's a very simple weapon to use. Most people can figure out how to use this without too much difficulty. It's got a decent range. You can generally shoot about 80 paces without any difficulty. I've seen it go as far as about 320 paces without too much difficulty. Takes a wee bit of time to learn how to load the bolts and everything like that, so it's not the fastest thing in the world. But as far as simplicity and just ability to fire off things, it's a pretty nice little thing. However, if you're looking for something that you might be able to fire a wee bit faster with a little bit of practice, he goes over and he takes a smaller looking bow. This is a lovely little thing. Range is very similar, about 80 paces without any issues, about 320 if you want to push it. However, this, as long as you've got yourself a good quiver, you can really... And you watch him, he has a quiver that you didn't even realize was there, and he very smoothly pulls out an arrow, knocks it, puts it on, and lets off a shot very quickly, does it again, and fires off about 4 shots in the span of about 12 seconds.
Now that is mighty impressive.
Yeah.
And I definitely do like the ease of movement that offers.
Yeah, it doesn't quite have the stopping power that a crossbow have, but it's a fair bit faster, and also tends to be a wee bit lighter to carry around. I've seen a lot of people, they just kind of sling it over their shoulders and they can take it around, whereas with a crossbow you really want to have a holster or something for it, unless you're just lugging it around all the time. So
and unfortunately, with the kind of things that I do, that would be mighty inconvenient. Say, my good sir, how much would this short bow cost?
This one he's looking over. This one, it's got a nice pull, about 30-pound weight. I could probably let it go for about 25 gold pieces.
25 gold's not a problem at all. But if I may ask, and I ask this purely out of curiosity to see if it would even be possible, would you be interested in possibly trading as well to maybe take a little bit of the price off?
Depends on what you've got. I tend to make my own weapons here, but if you've got something of sufficient quality, I might be able to unload it later.
Well, if you're looking for some good materials to hopefully make your own weapons, I got these 2 daggers right here. Got some pretty good metal you might use for some new arrowheads.
I don't do forging myself. And to be perfectly honest, a dagger like that, the blade's already been hardened. It's already got an edge on it. If you were to reforge it, I mean, it would almost not be worth the effort to reforge it into arrowheads because of how much work you'd have to do with it. And I don't really deal so much in melee weapons. There's plenty of other places that might be able to help you out with that, but it's just not my particular fancy. I do bows and arrows and various things like that.
Say no more. I completely understand. And he sheathes the 2 daggers again. I was asking purely out of curiosity. I will gladly take that short bow off your hands. And how much for a good already packed quiver of arrows?
Well, I can give you a gold piece for a quiver of 40.
All right, so 25 for the short bow, and then 1 gold piece for a pack of 40 arrows, you say?
20. Sorry if the accent made it.
It's
20 arrows.
20 arrows, 20 is. That's totally fine, and I'll take it.
All right, and there you go. And you see him tick there, and he's like, make sure when you're not using it, and you see him wrapping it in an oilcloth, this will protect it against the elements and things like that. If you don't take care of it, eventually the wood will warp and it won't be able to hold the string anymore. So take good care of it.
Now, I completely understand. Thank you so much. You have been a blessing. And Reggie walks out, and he's going to try and rejoin his friends.
Okay. Well, we were there. We were with you.
Yeah.
My presumption, yeah.
Oh, you've been with me this whole time.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. I was like, when that was done, Smegwick leans over to Owie and goes like, you think Reggie actually knows how to use that thing?
Maybe.
I've had a little training back in my days before I became a vagabond puckish rogue, but I will confess it has been a while. I guess we'll find out. But we'll be definitely a lot better than me just running headfirst into the fray.
So, very similar to how it is outside. Inside, you guys can smell a lot. However, the smell in here is a little bit different, whereas outside you had this kind of conglomeration of different scents and smells from all over the sovereignty and from all over the elemental kingdoms. Like, there was just a massive influx of different flavors in that. Here, it's a lot more kind of meat and potatoes. You see a lot of game that has been roasted over open flames, and then a lot of stewed vegetable type things like potatoes and turnips and other things like that have been boiled or other things. It's a little bit more, here's the food you need to energize yourself. So, that being said, what are you guys interested in?
Smegwick will lean over to well, kid, seeing how you kind of were able to step in there, I think it's only right if you want to choose. Got any hankering for anything?
Should I do a perception check to see what smells best to me?
In here, it's mostly the same. The few kind of nicer restaurants that you guys saw in here, and nicer is a relative term, are just not quite doing business right now. Everything here is roasted meat, potatoes. Like it's almost every meal. Every little restaurant has almost an identical meal. It's some sort of hot meat, bread, and then some sort of roasted starch.
True.
It could be here. We can go somewhere else. We got a hankering for. Anything you're missing? Any dish you're missing you want to have? You think we can see?
if you guys head back outside, then you have a much wider selection.
Yeah, let's go outside.
Okay.
All right.
So go ahead and give me a perception check.
Yeah, like
Smell check.
You looking for anything?
nothing in particular. I wouldn't be surprised if I totally botched this. Yeah. 5.
Okay. So as you could come outside, the first thing that you notice kind of captivates you. In front of you is a remarkably large cart, large enough to the point where you kind of just glancing at it, kind of wonder how it is still a cart in the idea that it is mobile. It is easily 20 feet long, and has various sweet baked goods all over it. It has various shelves. You can see some of them are donuts. Some of them are like steamed buns and things like that. All of them are covered in some sort of sugar or some other sweet thing. Some of them there are cinnamon rolls. There are cinnamon twists. There are small cupcakes and other things. Like, it is just a baked good extravaganza. And despite the fact that there is tons of food on every corner and there's a few restaurants within you, the only thing that you can see is this cart of sweets. And they look good.
You found Fantasy Cinnabon.
Welcome to Cinnabon. Would you like a Cinnabon?
Is this place an airport?
You guys are effectively in the poor part of the town, and the easiest way to make money is to have good smelling things in front of people that are hungry. So it
and also right outside a place that's full of spectators.
Yeah, like this is exactly how you make money. If you've ever I took a vacation to New York once, and around dinner time there are food carts everywhere. And they make bank, despite the fact that I was the hotel I was in was on Times Square, because I was dating a girl whose mother was very, very was doing well, and so she sent us and got us a hotel on Times Square, and so we would step outside and everywhere was food around dinner time. It was really cool. I liked it. I got to try an actual New York hot dog that made me sick.
Oh no!
Wasn't a Grace Papaya, was it?
I don't know. I don't know if it made me sick or it was just nerves or just something. It tasted really good. Like, I got kraut on it and everything. Like, it was a really good dog. We also had a deli across the street from our hotel that we got like half of our meals. We were there for a weekend. Half of our meals came from this one deli, because it was just, you literally would just load up a box and everything there was by the pound. So you would just put stuff in boxes, they would weigh it, and you would buy it. It was great.
New York delicatessen. Yeah.
Love it. All right. Anyway, so that's what you have seen, Aoi, and you can actually you're starting to do one of these things as you're already starting to feel yourself salivating a little bit.
Maybe we can. I can pick out desserts, and you guys can look for a main course, huh?
Sure. What are you in the mood for, kid? Spicy? In for?
Probably not spicy.
Nothing reminds you of home? Any kind of dish does that?
Now, would I possibly remember?
Anything that you would have eaten at home or at school is not here. This is poor folk food. It tastes good.
Well, I mean
but it is
elsewhere.
nothing. No, like this entire level is this is the lower tier. The entire kind of first tier is all effectively slums. So the food that you're going to get here is going to taste good.
So we can't get up to the higher tiers yet.
No,
Yeah.
you guys still
Okay.
don't have.
Yeah,
anywhere
that's
to do
why. That's why Crutchney bargained.
that.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know how much we were limited in terms of.
Yeah, we are very limited right now.
Damn it, Jody! I was fishing for intel. You could have worked with me.
Sorry. But yeah, the stuff that would remind you of home, you don't see anything remotely similar to it here.
I'm used to back home, but yeah, I'll definitely try it.
So, Reggie, Smegwick, why don't you guys go ahead and roll me perception checks? Make me some smell checks.
See if we signed a beer rock or a kaloshi.
That is a 10.
10, okay.
The perception?
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
And my
Nat 20.
my apologies for the Pokemon level up sound of my text message.
Not a problem. So, Reggie, the first thing that you notice is something that as soon as you smell it, you instantly are transported back to a time in between, let's say, jobs, where you were just kind of on the streets and didn't have a ton of money in your pockets at that particular day, but you found this cart. It was pouring rain, and this cart just had these strange. They just looked like little white lumps, and you had nothing else to eat. You couldn't see anything else, and so you just got two of these little white lumps. And as you bit into them, they were full of this kind of pork mixture, and it was the most amazing thing you had ever eaten. And so you found you smelled the steamed buns and that kind of scent of pork and spices that you'd had before, and it instantly just took you back to that. It was a bad time, you weren't feeling good, and you just took a bite of something that you thought was going to taste like paste, and it blew you away. And
I'm beelining right for the steamed buns.
Okay. So you can see someone, and as you get near it, you realize that it's going to take you probably about 10 minutes to get to it. Not because it's far away, but because there's a crowd of people there. But you're watching the guy there is talking to people. He never looks down at his hands, ever. And he's constantly talking and cracking jokes. Hey, how you doing? No, that's great. And he's constantly moving. And he is getting through like 2 or 3 people every 5 seconds. Like that's great. Yeah, 4 of them. Okay, here. And he's throwing them in little paper sacks and things like that. And he's just going nuts as he's going through this stuff. And you've never seen someone move this fast, this precisely.
And it's just the one guy?
It is one dude. And you watch him, like, he'll turn around and you watch him, like, between, like, packing up stuff, he's also packing new buns and putting them, like, he has a steamer that he just keeps moving these very large kind of stack. Have you ever seen the things
those bamboo ones?
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting in line. Hey!
Hey!
It'll be just a second as everything is weird. There we go.
You have not missed much at all. So you kind of came right in time.
You literally just got here in time for dinner.
How do I always get Crexting?
Hey.
Okay. And I believe you're muted as well.
You're still connecting audio.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Sorry, just doing some quick rearranging of stuff.
How you doing?
right.
Hi.
Yeah, I don't know how it is. You and me always end up getting body swapped when the screen changes.
So how does tax returns coming along?
All right. Can you hear us, Venus?
We cannot hear you.
We don't hear you. We don't hear you.
Oh dear.
We're not hearing you. We don't hear you.
Oh
No.
dear.
We're not
All
hearing
right,
you. Wait.
No.
We're not hearing you. Wait.
Now
We're hearing your Twitch.
Twitch. So
We're hearing your Twitch.
God damn it.
We were hearing you, but then we ended up, we heard you, and then we heard your Twitch.
Yep.
All right, not a problem. We'll. I'm gonna keep continuing to kind of describe what they're doing. They're getting dinner right now. So as you kind of deal with your tech stuff, we'll add you in. So Reggie, again, it takes about 5 to 10 minutes for you to get to the line. As he's sitting there, it's like, "Hey, buddy, what you looking for? We got the best buns in town. We got pork. We got pork. We got beef. We got chicken. What are you thinking?"
I would like a pack of 5. 3 porks, 1 beef, 1 chicken.
3 porks.
3 porks. Gotcha. And you watch him sit there and incredibly quickly. 5 buns. That is 10 silver, 1 gold piece, whichever you like better.
10 silver, 1 gold. Don't mind if I do. Hold on as I try to figure this out. Okay, here we go. Okay, so 10 silver and 1 gold, he said?
10 silver or 1 gold.
I was going to crack a joke. I thought you were going to do that.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to give him 2 gold. 1 is a tip.
Okay, and he sits there, and again, faster than you thought was possible. The money is not on the counter for more than a tenth of a second before it is gone. Thank you very much, sir, and you have yourself a great hand. In fact, just for that, you watch him go in, and he puts these 2 kind of dry stick-looking things in there. Give these a try. They will clear your sinuses
Oh dear.
for a week. You
Thank
smell
you very
them.
much.
They have a very kind of strong scent of cinnamon
Ooh.
and something
mind if
else
I
with
do?
some heat to them.
Ooh. Thank you very much. And I turn around and I'm going to rejoin everyone. I'm not walking away again.
So, Venus, can you hear us now?
Yes, I can.
All right. So
Hey.
to kind of fill you in on what's happened thus far, Reggie picked himself up a short bow, and now you guys are looking for dinner. Aoi found the largest sweet cart in
I
the
caught
city.
that. Cinnabons.
Yeah.
I got all of that.
Yeah.
And Reggie found steamed meat buns.
The cinnamon bun found the cinnamon.
Cinnabons.
The cinnamon roll.
Yeah, who would have thought the cinnamon roll found the cinnamon rolls?
All right. No talk on battling yet. We woke up.
You guys actually
Yeah.
haven't slept yet. This is you spent the
Okay.
day researching. You went back and got Reggie, and now you're just looking for dinner before you go to bed.
Okay.
This was supposed to be just a quick run. But we're going to get food.
Yeah.
I see.
So, Smegwick and Crexney, do either one of you guys? Smegwick, you got your nat 20 on your smell check. You see the steam buns, but you also see a little bit off. You actually see this. It looks a little bit like a hole in the wall, but from your days in the military, you instantly fixate on this place because you know the hole in the wall places. The food ain't gonna look all that great, but it's gonna be full of flavor. And it's generally going to be affordable. And as you kind of look around, you can also see some a little bit nicer places, but you're really kind of fixating on this hole in the wall. It's literally just a door, and then there are 2 other shops right next to it, and you assume that the actual dining room and everything must be like a long hallway and then goes out in the back or something. Because
it does look like a business, though, right?
Yeah, it's definitely.
Okay.
Again,
okay.
You've seen places like this before.
Okay.
This in particular, in certain cities, they kind of cater to military personnel and stuff like that because you can get a meal relatively quickly. It's very filling, and you can get out of there pretty quick too. So perfect for the enlisted man that has 20 minutes before his shift starts.
All right, Smeg, what do you smell?
I'm thinking it's just military marine, and for somebody to just popped in my head, so it's. I'm gonna say something akin to Indian food because I'm imagining military bento boxes.
Sure.
Stack and go.
Worth eating.
And since
I'm hungry.
Because also telepathic communication, so that means Spitwit is also aware, and Spitwit's just doing the cat head bump, just like. I'm aware, okay? We're walking there.
This is so often. He just kind of climbs to the other shoulder, looks at you, looks at that, looks at you again.
We're already
goes around.
We're already walking there. I'm not in the mood.
So as you guys go in, you are hit in the face with the smell of spices. Tons and tons and tons of spices. It is a long hallway. As soon as you walk in the door, it is literally 5 feet wide here. You can walk in single file, and the hallway goes about 15 feet back. But as soon as you get out of the hallway, you can see about half a dozen different tables. You can see a bar in the back, and right behind the bar is an open kitchen where you can see 3 people that are obviously family, not only because they resemble each other, but they are fighting like family. Like they're hurling insults at each other, and they're laughing, and every so often you'll see one of them kind of slap another one upside the head, and they're just kind of joking. They one of them sees you come in, and he goes, "Hey, come on in. What are you looking for? We got some amazing stuff in here. It's real good."
What do I smell? What's that smell?
You smell saffron, and you smell God, I'm trying to think of
Garam masala blend.
Yeah, 5 spice and
Can he tell me what's good? Like when I say what's that smell?
Do you want to ask the dude? He goes, "Oh, you want to know what's good? I'm gonna tell you the best thing in here, like everyone else has." And he starts pointing to different dishes. Like, we got a lot of people that come in here for some mutton, some lamb, and stuff like that. But you want the best? You want the absolute 100% best meal that we could got in here? Hey, Leonard, get over here. And you see this kind of more rotund gentleman could come over. She wants what the best. And he goes, "Oh, I know what's the best. Yeah, I go get it for you right now. Okay." And he goes out, and you see him just take like a pretty decent portion of rice, and he puts it in a bowl. And then you watch him open up this pot that had a lid on it. As soon as it opens up, huge plume of steam comes out. The whole room smells even stronger. And he has this kind of thick stew-like liquid. It's almost an orange color. And he starts kind of pouring it on. You can see big chunks of meat in there. And there's a bunch of vegetables in there, really kind of hearty. And he kind of pours it in, and he dips it in again and gets more of the sauce and kind of puts it in there to where the rice is just kind of swimming in this thing. And he puts the bowl in, and he's like, "That's going to make you feel real good. It's going to keep you warm all night, yeah. That's 1 silver for that, honey."
Okay. Let's try it.
Slight correction. For Indian food, actually, they would call tiffin carriers, the little tin things that go in there. Smegma just goes up, since like again, I'm referring to Red Dwarf here, so Smegma's just gonna go, "Yeah, give me a Vindaloo number 4 on the heat."
All right, yeah, that what you want? That's what you're gonna get. And you see him take a few pieces of raw meat and just starts chopping up really fast, toss them in a a pan with really, really hot oil, and he starts cooking it up. Then you watch him put some other ingredients in there, get some more rice, puts it. You see him kind of pour this sauce on there, cooks it all together, puts a lid on it, and then
don't forget the poppadoms.
You watch him take a wand out, and he kind of points at it, and you watch as a kind of spectral hand appears and just presses the lid on really, really tight. And you watch as the flames get hotter and hotter and hotter underneath it. And then you watch as the spectral hand kind of goes out and he pours it into a bowl for you, and you puts a few pieces of bread, your poppadoms on there, and kind of puts it in front of you. That'll be a silver for you.
There you go.
And you see the rotund gentleman kind of comes back to you, corrects me, and goes, "Oh, you're going to want this." And he puts kind of a white drink in front of you, full of ice.
Bad feeling about this. I'm about to burn my mouth.
You might want to get milk. That's actually better for you. Like, did you get the spicy thing?
I don't know. I said the best. I think I messed up. Anyone want to try it first?
I got a number 4. I don't know what you got.
Well, if you want to try it, if you smell the drink, it has kind of a cinnamon scent to it. It's a rice milk drink with cinnamon and other things in it.
Okay, good.
Very
all
cold,
right.
refreshing.
Horchatas.
Effectively, I couldn't think of an Indian drink, but I love horchata, so
Me too.
sure. In this place they have horchata.
I'm sure there's something like that.
All right, so everyone has food, so we can eat together,
Yep.
or everyone's already kind of.
Yeah, and I'm going to go pot at the
sweet shop.
yeah, and get excuse me, 5 sweets to go, please.
And you see this kind of rotund woman come around and goes, "Well, aren't you just the cutest little thing I've ever seen? Oh, and your scales are just the prettiest color of blue there. They match your eyes, they do. What are you looking for, honey? We've got some cinnamon buns. We've got some hot steam buns over here with a little bit of honey butter on them. They're just wonderful. We got some donuts over here. We've got little cupcakes. You know, if you want something little frosting on it, got that too. What you looking for, sugar?"
5 cinnamon buns, please.
"Not a problem. Here you go." And she kind of puts them into this little box for you. "There you go, honey. That would be 5 pieces of silver."
I will give her gold.
"Aren't you just the sweetest? Well, here, since you've been so kind, I think I gotta give you something just a little bit extra." And you see her kind of go in the back, and she brings out this kind of strange, it's completely spherical, and it's covered in what looks like powdered sugar.
Huh?
"Honey, you just eat that thing whole. You gotta eat it whole. It is an experience."
Thank you very much.
I would have given my guy silver as well.
Okay. So the restaurant that you two are in is getting a little bit packed, but throughout the rest of this kind of part of the city, there are just tables that show up this time of night because everyone is eating right now. So if you guys want to kind of go outside of the shop, you can all find a table that you can sit at. So,
Okay.
as you all sit down, Crexney, your food is actually not spicy.
Oh, phew.
But it is very temperature-wise. It is steaming, and is
So I'm not.
Is again just full of flavor. The meat itself has obviously been cooked all day, so it is tender. It melts in your mouth. the rice, as it kind of soaks up all the juices and everything like that, just come these little kind of kernels of flavor.
You're making me really hungry.
That's what I do here.
Question. Do I get the sense that Allie was just going to get baked goods for dinner?
We can share, Allie. We can split it. You can have my meal, and then I'll eat a cinnamon roll. We'll share.
Hey.
I guess I was going to say I would have got extra if I thought Allie was going to.
Because he put like 2 big heaps of stuff on mine.
No. These are for dessert, guys. But for each of you plus Thomas.
Thomas, who's back in his bunk, still terrified to leave. So
you gotta eat something. You're not gonna eat just a cinnamon roll, kid.
You want to share? You want to share mine?
Yes,
I have a lot.
Okay.
I have an extra meat bun for you.
Okay.
There we go.
As you guys,
I give her the chicken.
As you all kind of get through your meal, Smegwick, as you kind of take your first bite of it, the first thing you notice is you're relatively certain you will never have sinus trouble again. Instantly, you get these spices. There's actually a few peppers, just like whole peppers. This is in there as well. The meat itself is obviously marinated in something, because as you eat it, it's very, very. It's not tough at all. It's obvious, and it has the meat itself has a burn to it. Whatever they marinated in has spice to it, and then whatever sauce they put it in again is more spice. And by the time you're getting about halfway through your meal, you're doing one of those. You are muted, by the way.
The meat bun. It was better when I was in the Marines.
So it takes you, half an hour-ish to get through your meals. For the most part, you guys have a little bit left over. They were very generous proportions. And by the time you guys are done eating, the town itself is still relatively lively. Like, you're thinking the dinner rush is probably going to go on for another hour and a half at least. You guys got there right at the beginning. So, anything else you guys want to do before you head back to your ship?
Most of the shops, I'm going to guess, are probably closed. So unless someone has anything very specific we can hunt for, that's probably going to be closed too. Probably want to go back to the ship, rest up, and prep for the Cloaker mission.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm ready to take a nap.
Okay.
Yeah. Got a long day ahead.
All right. So you guys are able to get back to your ship without any difficulties. Crexney, give me a perception check with disadvantage.
Perception. Won't roll my dice. I'll just roll a regular dice. Oh, am I not logged in? It's not letting me roll. What?
It happens.
What I get for coming late. Would there be a reason why my dice wouldn't even show up on top? Oh. Says sign in, please.
That might be it.
That would be it.
So you guys are all kind of starting to bunk down. I'm just waiting to see if Crexney notices something. So.
Is that what I'm logging now?
Well, while that's going on, as you guys are coming back, I'm assuming you give Sissa some food to Thomas.
Yes, I do.
He's remarkably pleased. When he sees the cinnamon roll, he kind of looks at you and he's like, "Thank you."
No problem.
Okay. I got a 19 and an 18.
19. Cool.
Nice.
Okay. So, as you guys are walking back, Krexney, and you're kind of enjoying the feeling of, a hot meal in your belly, you suddenly kind of get this strange feeling that you're being watched for a second. You kind of look around, and the street's kind of packed. But you think, as you're kind of glancing around, you think you made eye contact with someone for the briefest of seconds, like they were watching you.
Guys, I think that person's watching us.
Well, by the time you kind of acknowledge, you can't see the person that you made eye contact with anymore.
So I think somebody's watching us.
It's possible there's probably a dozen people watching us here.
Yeah.
I like that feeling.
Yeah, maybe it's best to ignore it for now, considering what happened last time.
Let's just hurry back to the boat. Just straight beeline to the boat.
Sprint.
We could be circuitous about it too if we wanted to be that.
So you guys are able to make it back to the boat without any other difficulties, and you're able to get a long rest. So go ahead and all your hit points back, half your hit dice back.
Long rest.
Anything else that comes back on a long rest. Sure.
Oh, that exhaustion thing only shows up if you have exhaustion. Okay, that's interesting.
Sure.
That was another game.
If you guys do you guys have anything you want to do before you head to this warehouse? Because you know exactly where the warehouse is. It's going to take you about an hour to get there from your ship.
Any spells we want to prep or change out? I'm pretty much set for what Smegwick does. The Warlock and Sorcerer is pretty much ingrained in me.
Same.
I don't need to... Go ahead.
Sir, no, you keep going. I was interrupting.
I was just going to bitch about being not being able to switch out spells like some other people.
Yeah, he is the same way.
Jody, remind me, because I know we talked about this, but I'm brain farting right now. Bards can switch out their spells, but they have to wait till level up before they can do that, right?
So bards and sorcerers, when you level up, you learn new spells, and every time you gain a level, you can change one spell you already know to a different spell on your spell list that you have slots for. So when you level up, you technically can change one spell per level up.
One spell per level up. Gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, was that a house rule thing? I thought bards could just do that.
No, bards and sorcerers actually have identical. The spellcasting feature for both of them is almost identical word for word.
Oh.
Yeah, I did the sorcerer 2 weeks ago, and then the bard this week for my homebrew stuff, and that was one of the things we discussed, is that the bard and the sorcerer have, because they use charisma, the wording is near identical, if not 100% word for word, because they cast spells effectively the same way.
And when it comes to changing that one spell per level up, is that one spell per spell level, or one spell period?
One spell per character level. So every time you level up, you can change a single spell from one level.
So I could change like one cantrip, one first level spell, one second
leveled spells. Cantrips are permanent.
Gotcha. So it's just the leveled stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I'm all good now.
So
that's all I need.
If you we know you have Thunderwave. Theoretically, when you hit 8th level, you could change Thunderwave into Haste. I think might be on your spell list. I can't 100% remember.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm good.
So they don't have to be from the same level. Like you could trade a first level spell for a third level or something. But any spell that you change it into has to be of a level that you can currently cast.
Yeah, gotcha. When I went to level 7, I actually traded out Featherfall for Elder Self.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because then I could use second level spells.
It's a holdover from 4th edition, actually. In 4th edition, every time you leveled up, you could also change one power that you had selected from a previous level for another one of the same level. So it was one of the reasons why it was remarkably difficult to make useless characters in 4th edition, because if you did, it just took one level up to trade something out and get something that actually worked. So
Gotcha.
And I tend to like that. I'm a big fan of allowing you to course correct your character as they level up.
Thank you.
So, any other stuff that you guys want to... Any other prep work before you head off?
Can I craft, since we know they're afraid of dark, can I craft a light or like a lantern, or do I get to just bring one?
Well, you do have, as part of your adventurers kit, you would have torches. Okay. As we talked about the last time, the enchantment you have on your sword effectively turns it into a lantern.
A lightsaber.
Yeah. It glows and gives off the same amount of light that a torch would.
Okay.
So, is it like a moon sword?
No, it's she has the radiant weapon infusion because she's an artificer, so yeah. It effectively works like a light spell, effectively, with a couple extra cool things added to it because artificer. But
okay,
she gets the lightsaber. It's pretty cool. Cool. So, I think we should head over.
Could I get a lantern real quick? A bullseye lantern?
If
I actually did get the Adventurers pack.
If you wanted to I don't believe a bullseye lantern is part of the Adventurers kit.
I don't have it. I didn't get an Adventurers kit.
Oh, okay. A bullseye lantern would be slightly more
I'm gonna just a lantern.
Specialized. But yeah, you could pick one up on your way there. It'd be 10 gold pieces for a bullseye lantern.
Don't have 10 gold. I'll just get a regular lantern.
That would be...
I think it's 2 gold, right?
What I'm seeing here, well, that's a hooded lantern. I guess a lamp would be 5 silver pieces. Or you can just get torches as well, which are...
I'll get something a little bit more permanent. I can spare 5 gold to get like a hooded lantern.
Yeah, so...
Okay.
All right, so that being said, I've just switched the map over. There's only a little bit that you guys can see right now, but go ahead and put your tokens anywhere in those kind of 7 squares in the beginning here.
Okay.
So as you guys come in, be able to see that and that. So as you guys start coming into this warehouse, the warehouse has no lights in it at all. You can see a few hooks where a lantern would have hung to give this place a little bit of light. But as of right now, you don't see any. You don't even see broken lanterns around, and the place itself is 100% dark.
Smegwick is whispering, going,
"Now remember, we said this place isn't. They said this place was infested.
Okay.
And they look like tops if they're inactive."
Gotcha.
Around you can see various. I guess you would see this as well. You can see various boxes with some of them have tarps on them, some of them don't. Some of them are open, some of them are shut.
Now realizing that we're in a warehouse, I realize the tarp thing's very much more problematic.
Oh, yeah, got a point.
Do they respond to light? Do we remember? Or they're just damaged by light?
They're not.
They're sensitive.
Damage to it, but they don't like it. And it makes it, because they are creatures that see in the dark, they have natural to dark vision, bright light and things like that makes it significantly more difficult for them to see because they're not used to it. Or at least that's what you read. So, and I should change the music.
Smith could go to Spitwood and go like,
Spitty, stay quiet, stick to the rafters, go stealth. Keep an eye out. Send me a signal if you spot anything out there.
Kind of, then the nods to you, kind of flies up. This particular this particular warehouse is not massive. Like the ceiling's only about 20 feet high. And in front of you can see kind of this large stack of crates that's kind of blocking the rest of your view of this place. And then a little bit further you can see, you guys would see this, some more crates over there blocking your view. So where would you guys like to go?
Do we see any doors? We can just see darkness.
Right now, you can just see the crates and everything. You don't see any other doors or anything from where you currently are.
Mm.
Okay, this is a point. They said they sent other people down here, and they said that other people sent down here didn't come back up.
Okay.
So if we want to light up now, we can, but I'm willing to bet that's what they've done before.
And yeah, that's what I was just thinking too. We turn it on, they're gonna react instantly.
Right.
They might, depending where they are, where they're at.
I will say in this little doorway, there's enough light to see exactly what you guys can see. Going any further, if you don't have dark vision, you will not be able to see in here because there is no natural light.
Yeah, and I don't have dark vision.
I have
hands up who has dark vision.
Dark vision. I have goggles. I think it's dark goggles.
Reggie, do you have dark vision?
No.
Yeah, he's a human.
I think you were a half elf. Aren't you a half elf?
I have goggles of night.
I don't have dark vision. Don't worry about it.
All right.
Is goggles of night count?
They would. Is that one of the infusions you currently have active?
Does it have to be a red thing next to it?
I think so. Let me hop on your character sheet real quick here. Because I can't remember how they do it in Roll to 20. Infusions. So, yes, you have. Yeah, you goggles of night is one of the things. So if you want dark vision, you literally just put your goggles down and you have dark vision.
Okay. And it's forever? There's no like time limit on them?
Yeah, goggles of night just work.
Okay. So if I can see, they can't. I have to explain it to them. How would that work? So if I put mine on right now, what do I get to see?
Right now, line of sight, you're kind of blocked with this. Going further in, you'd be able to see things that they can't. But right now, everything that you can see with the goggles on, you can see with them off. Because again, you're just in the doorway in this small little area here. So
when we get closer, I can equip them to the dark areas. Okay. Well, I guess we have no choice but to move forward.
Yep. So go ahead and move your tokens wherever you want your characters to go, and I'll explain what you see.
And Joe, I don't know if it matters at all. Just as a reminder that Spitwit does have blind sight in a range of 10 feet.
10 feet. Okay.
And dark vision as normal.
If he's up in the rafters, then he doesn't even see you with his blind sight because he's further than 10 feet away from you.
Well, he also has dark vision. 60 feet.
He'd still be able to see you with that.
I think he has better dark vision than I do.
It's possible. Fairy dragons. So correctly, as you move forward and you kind of peer around this pile of crates, you do see a little bit further. You can see...
Oh, no, same.
There is a wall with a door to the right over here, and you can see that there's some more crates and things over here, and then it goes a little bit further, and you can't quite see all the way to the down there. So it seems that there is a room over here to the right with a door that seems to be closed right now. And then obviously there's more space up here to the north.
Well, since I have the goggles of night, maybe I should just stay in the front so I can see before we go into it.
Okay. So go ahead and again move your tokens where you guys want to go.
How many spaces can they move?
You're not in initiative right now, so you can move as much as you want.
I didn't want to take too many liberties and, like, you know, some people just like woo and just go berserk on the map.
Yeah.
Basically, if you can see the area, you can move to it. Anywhere that you can't currently see because of Fog of War, just put your token next to that area, and I'll illuminate and tell you what you guys see.
I'm not going to. I have Spitwit down below, but like wherever if you want to have him like just where he would be wherever.
Okay.
Just reconnoitering up top. That way, we can make it easier for everybody. If you like.
So, what do you guys want to do? You can see a door to the right, and then there's two kind of piles of crates to the north, and there's a space in between them that opens up into more of the warehouse here.
I'm getting so nervous. Last time I went through a door, I got attacked.
Welcome to adventuring.
We had backdrafts sucked into our room.
Right.
You don't see any mushrooms currently.
Oh, that's a good sign. What about dead bodies? Do we see any dead bodies?
You actually don't see anything in here. Again, from what you've been told, multiple people have come in here, but you don't see bloodstains.
Evidence
you
of
don't
that.
see anything.
Yeah, I was gonna say, does this place look clean?
Yeah.
Remarkably so.
That's first thing Spit was gonna say is like, so this place is supposed to be murder party
Death.
every time, and yet this place doesn't look like there's been any bodies so far.
Yeah.
The people who gave us this job, when did they say the last disappearance was?
He just said that he's been sending a lot of people down and no one's coming back up. So he put an ad out to help.
Yeah.
And that's the only detail he gave?
His name's Yusuf Benign, by the way. Storage cellar, stock boys go missing. Frequently, previous people they've gone. Oh, I'm sorry. We would have. I think we totally skipped this one part, Jody. We would have introduced ourselves to Thud coming in if he stopped us. Thud was a Goliath guard.
You didn't see anyone.
Oh, we didn't see. There was no one.
Oh, peachy. All right. Well, this is interesting.
I'm sure there's a perfectly logical explanation for why he's not there.
He got eaten. I'm going with he got eaten. All right. Well,
I've heard with a good Chianti, Goliath is quite tasty. So.
Well, I guess I'm in for opening the door. Anyone want to come with me?
Okay.
Which door?
I think we only see one, right?
Currently, you only see one.
Do you want me to just look up the hallway first before we turn on lights? Before I open the door?
It's up to you
I
guys.
actually don't know where the door is on the map because.
It's right here.
I think it's here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's a little hard to see with the Fog of War.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's see what else is. Let me see if I can open some more area and see what we have.
Oh, I was gonna stand on the other side.
Yeah, don't stand in front of the door.
Stop that.
We learned our lesson last time.
Yeah. Okay.
Everyone stand away
now
from
you
the
can
door.
see the door. So, who's opening the door?
I think I want to open some more of the area to see if there's any more doors
okay.
before we
So as you come up here,
see what we have around us.
you see A little bit more.
You know, Minesweepers? That's what I feel like.
Yep. You can see to the right, there is another door. Right there. And then to the left, there is another door there.
Okay. So...
Otherwise, again, still...
Empty.
Empty.
All right, I'm going to come over here. Is this a wall?
This is a wall, yes. I'll
where I'm at? Oh, okay.
reveal that for you. That wasn't the right button. Reveal areas, thank you.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah,
well,
that's the wall.
At least we have that cleared. This middle container looks like there's nothing really going on. We just moved all the way around it. I know we haven't turned on the light yet, but I guess I need to open the door so I can see, right?
Yeah. Unless you found a way to see through walls.
Okay, I'll do it. Move away from the door, you guys, just in case.
Okay.
By the way,
I can't accept all of you coming in.
By the way, if we feel the need to light up on something, I have an idea for that. That's the reason why I got the lantern.
All right.
Well, I don't want to turn on any lights just in case.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So let me see what we can see first.
All right.
I think you and I are the only ones making eye contact.
Okay. Let's open it. Please.
As you open the door, this is a much smaller room. You can see a bunch of barrels, various kind of tarps and other cloths are strewn around here. In the far corner, you can see more boxes. There's actually some reinforced crates over there that actually have kind of steel edges and things like that.
No tarps.
There's tarps everywhere. There's stuff on the floor.
Okay.
There's a few that are on
Can
the.
we count? Can we get a count of how many tarps are in each room that we're in?
Sure. In this one,
how many are going to turn on?
There's 1, 2.
Can you see the tarps in this room? How many are there?
There are 5 different tarps that you can see in this room.
Okay. Well, see, because if we do process of elimination, and
Jingle
only 5, there's like
dumps.
20 of them in the other room, I'm down for turning on light in the little room first.
Okay, so do you want to do that?
Do you want me to open the rest of these doors and see what's in them, or do you want to just go in and turn on the light?
Well, okay. Are we going to want to light up in this tiny room? Is my question.
You want to light in the big room and then they all come out?
As I say, because I think we're anticipating some type of trouble.
Yes.
And I think this would be the way to test the first room.
Okay.
The little one?
That's what I was thinking.
Okay, I agree.
Okay.
That's what I was gonna see, if we can open all the rooms and see how many tarps are in it, and find the littlest room to see how much trouble these things are.
I mean, it's a little room and it's pretty close to the entrance.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then, what was your idea for the light?
Easy for that. Smegwick is going to.
Because it's really simple to light one of these lanterns, right, Jody?
Yeah, you can just use a tinder to light it. Just a tinder kit.
Yeah, because I think it's with a hooded lantern. There actually is I can close it and open.
Yeah,
it.
you can.
Right.
You can. Hooded lantern effectively has a closing thing. A bullseye lantern actually has a shutter, so it's much more directional. Whereas a hooded lantern is just one that you can close.
Yeah. So Smegwick's going to cover it pretty well. He's going to light the lantern and he's going to close the hooded lantern.
Okay.
Mage hand.
Put the lantern in.
And he's going to drop the lantern right here.
Okay.
And then he's mage hand. He's going to turn the lantern, unhood the lantern.
Okay.
To light it up. And
1, 2, 3.
Go.
The room is illuminated.
Anything moving? Nobody's in the room to see.
Well, I mean, you guys are looking through the door. There are still tarps in there. They look remarkably to the tarp-like.
To make this just randomly take a mage hand, slap. Any of the tarps are reacting?
Much as you can see.
Okay.
Remember, if you hear a moan, you gotta
Right.
they might be able to instill fear. So be careful on that. Want to send Ogun in there first, or I can go in? I got dark visions.
And now, hold on. Let's not jump to that just yet. We got light in there, but light doesn't seem to be doing anything. Maybe we just need to make just a little bit more noise without actually being in the room.
You got some more marbles?
I actually do have quite some more marbles. Thank you very much. I have exactly 996 left. So just
Reggie,
to make
is Reggie a vampire?
Wait, what?
Is there a connection with marbles and vampires? I'm not aware of.
With counting.
Oh, God damn it.
One marble.
That's a deep cut in the mythology. That's like, you throw a bag of rice out there and like the vampire has to count it.
Oh my God, that's right.
Oh yeah.
I completely forgot about that. Anywho, he's gonna take 3 marbles, and he's just gonna throw all 3 of them at once, and they're like solid steel marbles, so they're gonna make quite a bit of noise when they hit the floor in the room.
Nothing.
We have light in there. We have sound in there. I think it's starting to suspect that. I think that room might be clear.
Okay.
Oh, the next step is going in and checking it. One, two, three, not it. And I'm walking in.
Yeah.
Reggie already wanting to give this a shot. He stands just outside the doorway and he knocks an arrow in his shiny new short bow.
I swear to God, if you shoot me.
I ready my sword.
That'll heal.
I will certainly
You're
try not
okay.
to. I will certainly try not to, but you look so shootable right now.
And one of us has hellish rebuke. Remember that, Reggie.
So, Smegwick, as you go in, again, you can see quite a few barrels in here. They're all sealed fairly well. The boxes in the corner don't look quite as sealed, other than the steel reinforced ones look pretty tough.
First thing I'm just going around since we have to do some inspection here. I'm gonna inspect the barrels first, and then if depending how that turns out, then I'm gonna inspect the reinforced crates, because we were told this is like a wine storage. This is like a wine storage, right? This wine warehouse.
Mm-hmm. So as you the barrels that you're closest to now have a little bit of a tarp on them. So as you kind of move the tarp itself is remarkably heavy, thick leather. And so as you kind of move it around, the barrels are some form of liquid is in them. I mean, they look like wine casks.
Are they like the vineyard name on them, or is it just casks?
They're not labeled, which is strange. Most you would expect wine casks to be labeled. Due to the fact that people care about how long they were aged and other things, or fermented and all those other things. These are
the year and whatnot, yeah. Hey, weird. There's some shady shit in the beer.
Doubt it. Oh.
Well, then
I don't know.
if nothing ends up going in, I'm going in. I'll take a look at the reinforced boxes.
Okay. Again, another kind of heavy kind of leather to the tarp. As you kind of lift it up, I need wisdom saving throws from everybody.
Oh, Lordy, here we go.
Oh, boy. That is a nat 20.
Mine's a 2.
Uh-oh.
7.
15.
And Crixie, you said 2?
Mm-hmm.
Is that adding your initiative bonus?
What is that? I don't have a bonus.
I thought we were rolling wisdom save.
Oh, wisdom save. I'm sorry. Wrong to the thing. So
you just want to go right at killing us. I'm man. Just.
Smegwick, Reggie, you make your saves. Crexney and Owie, you don't. Crexney also, if you could roll one for your for Ogun.
For Ogun.
Could he feel emotions?
He can. I don't believe he's immune to the frightened condition. So
he's a robot.
Well, it would say on his sheet if under immunities if he was immune to the frightened condition, and I don't believe he is.
Okay.
I think it would say right under. No, is this communication? Yeah.
So Smegwick and Reggie, you guys resist this, but Owie, Crexney, and Ogun, you are currently frightened. And now I need everyone to roll for initiative for me.
Ooh, boy.
As the cloaker you have just awoken gets up.
Oh, thank God. 23.
7.
8.
16.
All right, really quickly, Crexney. According to D&D Beyond, you rolled an intelligence save, not an initiative roll. So initiative would be over.
Oh, I see it. Just kidding.
That's fine.
Better. 5.
You got a
Not
5?
better.
Okay. There we go. All right, so I guess.
By the way, that's weird. I took a long rest, and for some reason it says I used a first level spell.
Okay, this is not that hard. Come on, there we go.
I also used a long rest. Yes, come on. That's weird. The long rest didn't confirm last time. Okay, I'm good.
All right, come on. What the hell is going on here? Oh, because I have the wrong thing selected. That's why. Sorry, I'm dealing with things.
Welcome to my side.
There we go. All right, so we're going to start off with the cloaker. The cloaker gets up and is remarkably upset.
Oh, God, it's huge.
And despite the fact that there's a creature right next to him, the first thing it's going to do is actually going to go over and knock over the hood lantern, extinguishing it as it swipes it with its tail. And then it's going to try and nom on Smegwick. So that is an 18 to attack. Oh, and if it's dark. Yeah, that's an 18. Does an 18 hit you, Sister Smegwick?
Shield. I am not getting... I know this thing hugs me. I am using a shield.
So, as you're sitting there and everything goes dark, you can't see anything, and as it comes towards you, you kind of use your...
Well, I have dark vision. I don't know if I pressed.
Oh, you have dark vision. Never mind.
Yeah.
You see this kind of leathery form coming towards you, and as soon as it gets close enough, you put this shield up, and you see this strange, like, manta ray-looking thing, and you can see these teeth kind of chomping at the shield, but it's not getting through.
Bad blankie! Bad blankie!
Oh, dear.
It's
Murder Snuggie!
Murder Snuggie.
It's going to try a 19 to attack you as it whips its tail around to try and hit you.
Technically, shield will last for an entire round.
Yeah, until the start of my next turn. So my AC right now is 21.
20. Okay, so as it's sitting there trying to gnaw on you, you see this kind of barbed tail come around and slash against it, and again you kind of shift the shield around, and it impacts that.
No!
And he seems upset with you. But that ends his turn.
Well, frig.
However, stop that. Smegwick, you are actually the next person.
Okay, let's see what I can do here. All right. Well, can't have this happening. So, yeah, I'm right up in his grill.
Now, question. Now, it's on the floor?
It's flying.
Oh, it is flying.
Yes.
It flies.
Okay. Until the start of my next turn. So right now it is my turn. So therefore my AC is back down to 16.
Yep.
Okay. So, you know what? I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit. I'm gonna try. Well, haha. No, goblin. Bonus action. I can do that on a bonus action as a goblin. To disengage.
Okay.
5, 10, 15, 20.
I will say, you can't move through its.
I was just saying it was flying, so I thought I could move. Can I not? Can I not move through?
You can't move through its square. You are effectively trapped where you are right now.
Okay.
So.
All right.
Yeah, it's flying, but it does take up space and mass. It's just not on the ground.
Okay. All right. Then clarification there. I will. I will use 2 points, quicken spell, bonus action, mirror image.
Okay. So, Crexney, you'd be able to see with your goggles of night vision. You watch as Smegwick sits there and he waves his hand and says 3 words, and suddenly there are 2 Smegwicks.
Well, total there's 4.
There
Me
are
plus
4
me plus 3.
Starts off as there's 2, and then another one shows up, and another one shows up. He takes out a pitch pipe. You're not sure which one is going to sing lead, but you're relatively certain you can see the bass.
Then, as my
action, so I'm guessing since I can't move through it, I can do a touch spell.
Yeah, you're right next to it.
Okay, so then I am going to use my action. I'm going to do shocking grasp.
Okay, so you kind of reach forward to try and grab this thing. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
24 to hit.
24 misses, unfortunately. Yeah, of course it
This is the boss, Cloaker?
I was gonna say, what?
Zap!
Higher AC than Ancient Dragon.
High and low, great. Well, 9 points total.
Okay, so you sit there and you grab onto the thing. You guys see these sparks kind of shoot out for it. You hear the creature go.
And since I can't move, that's my turn.
All right, Owie, you.
I am frightened.
You are no longer frightened. It actually ended at the end of the Cloaker's turn.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, it's not ongoing. Cool.
That is awesome.
Yeah, or become frightened until the end of the Cloaker's next turn.
Oh, okay.
It would be more useful if it lasted longer than that.
Okay, so I'm going to I think I'm gonna hold my action until I get until I have clear line of sight of where I think it is.
Okay. I will say, Owie, you don't have dark vision, correct?
Yeah, I know.
Okay. So currently, right now, you can't see anything. You are in pitch darkness.
Oh, okay.
Because the light was knocked over. So you're holding what spell are you holding?
Firebolt.
Firebolt. So you guys watch as she kind of creates this tiny little flame in her hand and gets ready to fire it. It's this is something. Cool.
Yeah, as soon as I see its form, I'll let it go in its direction.
Okay, cool. Reggie, you are up next.
All right, I am standing where I am, and well, actually, hold on. I'm gonna move a little bit. I'm gonna move between the Cloaker and rest of the group, so I don't have anyone between me and him.
Okay.
And then I am going to. I still got my arrow knocked from the first time when we were ready to shoot into the room. So I'm just gonna fire that arrow.
I will say you can't see the Cloaker right now because you don't have dark vision.
You turned off the lamp.
All right.
So if you want to try and hit it, you would effectively be blind firing at this particular point in time because you can't physically see them.
Hold on. Oh, but I think I still have something else I can do then. If I'm not going to do the arrow, all right, I'm going to do something because this only matters if the creature can hear me. We don't necessarily have to see each other. I'm going to unleash a vicious mockery at it. I'm reading the description. It does. Oh, wait, nope, never mind. I read a little bit more. I have to see it.
Most spells require some sort of line of sight, unless they specifically you need to have something you can aim the magic at. With vicious mockery, theoretically, if it was just a hearing thing, then anyone that heard you would be affected by it. So,
right.
You can go the same route that Aoi did, where you kind of prep something. If you want to go that route, or if you want to light something yourself. Using an item like lighting a torch or something would be an action.
I mean, I do have a tinderbox, but I don't have any torches with me. I mean, okay. I do have my own hooded lantern.
Okay, so you could light your own hooded lantern if you wanted to. That would be your action. Would be interacting with that, or lighting the lantern.
Okay, so then what I'm gonna do is I'll light the hooded lantern.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if this would have to count as like a free action or not, but I would then I want to take that lantern and I want to specifically place it like right there. Basically basically just like one square in front of me, so that if the Cloaker tried to like knock over the lantern, it would have to move closer to like us.
Sure. Do you want to put it on the floor, or do you want to put it on a barrel?
I am going to put it on the floor.
Okay, cool. So you put there, because there are a few barrels in the way, it's casting some pretty decent shadows, but you can all see inside the room. When that happens, Aoi, you finally get a chance to see this by kind of peeking around the door here. It's an ugly-looking thing.
Yeah.
But you
Fire!
All right.
Really? Really? I need a dice jail. 9.
9. So as you sit there, you fire off your firebolt. It goes straight past it and impacts behind Smegwick. You watch this little bolt of fire kind of singe the wall behind you.
Sorry.
Reggie, anything else you want to do with your turn? You still have movement if you want.
So the placement of the lantern on the floor, that was my free action.
Yeah, dropping something is free. It doesn't take any action.
Okay, then for my bonus action, because like we can see the creature now, right?
Definitely.
I'm now going to use vicious mockery at it.
Vicious mockery is an action.
No, it's a cantrip.
Cantrips are actions, most of them.
Unless it says, unless there's a B by it, or a BA.
When it says casting time, it will say one action. For Vicious Mockery is not a bonus action. Vicious Mockery is an action.
Yeah, you're right. I see it. One action. Okay, well then I got nothing. Then I'm I don't need to move, so I'm done.
Okay, cool. So that ends that. Crexney.
Okay, I am going to move, I guess, into the room and use my longsword.
Go for it. You can go ahead and move your.
I can do any.
Yeah, go ahead and move your figure in. You're right there. You're within 5 feet of it, so you can take an attack.
Okay. Do I hit the damage one or I hit the hit one?
You want to roll to hit first.
Oh, 20 plus 6, so 26.
Did you get a nat 20?
Yes.
All right, that's a critical hit. So, as you come forward with your little longsword, you kind of run forward and you take this big swing and you hit the creature hard.
Is this your first weapon crit in the game?
Nice.
So, in D&D, if you roll a natural 20 on an attack roll, you get what's called a critical hit. What that means is the damage roll, you will actually roll the damage dice twice instead of just once. On roll 20, if you right-click on it, it'll give you a couple options, and you just want to click on crit damage and then roll. And that'll automatically do that for you.
And do I roll the D8 or the D10?
The D8 is the one that you want. So right-click on the D8. The D10 is if you're using your longsword two-handed.
11.
11 is nice. So you come forward and you just boom, you hit it deep. You see a slight kind of flash as your enchanted longsword or in your infused longsword hits it, and a small burst of radiant energy goes into the creature. And you said 11, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. As a reminder, Ogon takes his turn immediately after yours. And if you use your bonus action, you can tell Ogon to attack. Otherwise, you have that hand crossbow if you want to shoot it as well. You have those two different options for your bonus action.
Okay, I'll use the hand crossbow.
Okay, so go ahead and make an attack roll with your hand crossbow. So you guys watch after she attacks it. She has this hand crossbow on her wrist that she goes and fires it. What'd you
19.
get? 19 definitely hits. Go ahead and roll the damage.
7.
All right. And point blank, after she smacks it with her longsword, she just kind of points it, and you see this bolt stick into the creature. It goes. Cool. Anything else you want to do with your turn? Okay. Ogun can move on his turn if you want to move him anywhere else. Otherwise,
I think I just moved him.
Okay, that's
he was
fine.
outside and I moved him in, so.
Cool. He's not here. It's Cloaker at the time. Cloaker is less than pleased right now. So,
Does my sword stay lit when it's on, or does it turn off?
you actually can activate it if I remember how it works. Radiant weapon.
There's also a lantern in here.
Okay.
Well, there's two, but one's actually lit.
While holding it, you may take a bonus action to activate or deactivate shedding a bright light in a 30-foot radius. So you can turn it on or off as a bonus action.
Okay.
So, this dude's not pleased with any of y'all. So it is going to go 5, 10, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. It is going to fly away from all of you.
Get through that door.
Yeah, because it's kind of flat, it just kind of moves through. However, Buddy, that has a melee weapon, can try to take opportunity attacks as it flows by.
I mean, I got a dag. That's pretty much it.
I got a long sword.
God.
Roll hit.
Rolling good on
sucked. 11.
Apparently, all my dice need to go to dice jail. 15.
15. 15 does hit.
Oh, okay.
23 on a dagger.
20, all right, so Smegwick, as you see it kind of start going away, you kind of ignore the shield and just very quickly swipe at your dagger. Go ahead and roll the damage. As it goes...
6 points of piercing with the rapier.
7 with the dagger.
Yeah, 10 points of piercing.
Did you say, was it 6 or 10?
10.
10, sorry.
It's okay.
Okay, so first you see Smegwick kind of slashes at it, and the creature kind of goes. Crexney, as it comes forward, you're not quite expecting it to go right for you, so you kind of duck and make a wild swing that goes a little bit wide. Owie, as you see it come out, your instincts kind of kick in, and you just kind of poke at it as it flies past.
Does Ogun get attacks of opportunity too, or how does that work for Still Defender?
I believe he does get an attack of opportunity. So if you want, Crexney, if you want to roll Ogun's Force Rend attack, I think is what it's called. Yeah, Force Empowered Rend. So D20, add 6 to it.
Okay. Nine.
So Ogun as well is not quite expecting it. You see it go, roar, takes a swipe at it, and the creature just kind of moves out of the way. At this point, Owie, you're the only person that can see this creature, and the light of the lantern really isn't getting out here. You watch as the creature, as you're looking at it, you think you're seeing double for a second because the wings are flapping faster than you think it should. And suddenly, as you're staring at this creature, you can now see there's a grand total of 4 cloakers where there was only one previously. And they all are looking at you currently.
Alright, whose turn is it?
It is Smegwick's turn.
Okay.
Well, gonna see 4 versions of me. I'll have to basically get out of this room. I'll have to dash anyway.
You see all of them. They somehow have gotten little hats and vests. You hear them going, "Good night, ladies."
And just go there. Like, where are you going? And that's pretty much it. I'm using my bonus action to get the sorcery points back.
Okay, so you guys watch as he runs through, and you watch him kind of conjuring magic, and you watch him actually kind of pull what seems like some sort of magical force out of himself, and then kind of coalesce it into his palms and absorb it.
Oh.
Again. Owie, you are up next.
So I can't really see it from where I am, barely.
You can see it. It's
okay.
dim light, but you can see it.
Okay. See. Are the crates like? How tall are they?
The crates go about 12 to 14 feet in the air.
That wouldn't be. Actually, I'll give it a shot. I'll climb up on one of them.
Okay, they are a little bit unsteady as you could go to them. So go ahead and make me a strength athletics check.
Okay. 9.
9. So as you start going up, one of the crates shift. You hear this as one of the ones below you, and it falls, and the crate actually that you were grabbing on actually falls on top of you. You take 6 points of bludgeoning damage as it kind of hits you, and you kind of push it off, and you are currently prone.
Darn it. So did I use my action to climb?
No.
Oh, okay. I'll use my action to get up.
Getting up from prone just costs half your movement. So
half my
just
movement.
15 feet of movement, you stand up.
Okay. And how many points of bludgeoning was that?
6.
Okay. I'll get up from that, and I'm still within firing range, right? Or am I gonna have to back up again?
No, you can see around the boxes well enough that you can take a shot at it if you'd like.
Okay, another firebolt then.
Okay, so you guys watch as she starts to conjure. You see at the tip of her rapier this little bolt of flame going. She kind of points it, and it flies off.
Please don't miss. That just might hit. 17.
17 does hit. Go ahead and roll the damage.
Okay. It's 3d10, Katie. Ooh, that's pretty good. 14 points of fire.
All right. As the bolt hits it, in the darkness oh shoot, that was something I forgot to do. Choose even or odd.
Even.
All right. As the bolt hits it.
Oh, it's one of those. No fair. Can you mirror image too?
Yeah.
Boo.
So as you sit there and you fire it at one of these 4 cloakers, you hit one of them and you watch it just vanish into nothingness.
Yeah.
My head always goes to Naruto with the.
Hey. Yeah, hey, Shadow Konjutsu.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to do with your turn, Howie?
No, I'm good.
All right. Reggie.
All right, can I finally fire an arrow?
You'll have to move out of the room to do it, but yeah. You currently can't see it where you are.
All right. Yeah.
Are you grabbing the lantern again?
Okay, I'll quickly grab the lantern, take it with me. I'm moving right there.
Okay.
All right. Now, I would like to finally shoot the thing.
Okay.
All right. There's a 17.
Choose even or odd.
Odd.
All right. As you sit there and you take the arrow, you fire it. It streaks through the air and pierces one of, you can see are now 3 cloakers. And as it pierces the cloaker, vanishes.
All right. Well, that's one less one.
So that was your action.
That was
anything
my
else
action.
you wanted to do? And you still have effectively 20 feet of movement. So.
Yeah. Well, I'm staying where I am.
Okay. Cool.
So skip my movement, and I don't really have anything to use my bonus action with, so I'm done.
I will remind you that you are a bard.
Bard/rogue.
So one of your bonus actions is your inspiration.
Which I can definitely give. Who's close by?
Well, inspiration is within 60 feet. So everybody is close enough for you to inspire them. They just have to be able to hear you.
Oh, well. Wait, I thought I had to select a specific person to do inspiration.
You do, but yeah. anyone.
We're all in range.
Oh,
yeah, everyone's in range is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm dozing here. Wow.
Thank you. I thought it was a really engaging storyline as well.
Aww.
Oh, that's not it. Come on.
So yeah, if you want to, you can do that. You don't have to. It's just another.
I will. I was more focused on offensive maneuvers. I'm gonna give inspiration to Owie.
Okay. So
Jody, your games are better than a glass of warm milk.
Aww. It's so nice.
a warm glass of milk that can kill me, apparently.
So, Reggie, as far as how you view how Reggie inspires, do you say words of encouragement? Do you just give them warm, fuzzy feelings? Do you sing something? Do you play something? Like, how do you envision Reggie inspiring people?
For this specific situation, it's going to be just words of encouragement because I do not have time to pull out my violin.
Not a problem. So Reggie kind of turns to you, Aoi, and goes, "Aoi, you've got this," and you feel this, improvement of energy. And what's your inspiration die? I believe it's a D6 right now.
Actually, no, it's a 1d8.
It's a D8. So you've got a D8 you can use on attack roll, ability check, or saving throw within the next 10 minutes.
Right.
Crexney, what you want to do?
I am going to leave this room.
Okay.
And go. For me to use my long distance, my crossbow, I have to be in front of them, or
you have to basically you have to have line of sight to use your crossbow.
So if I was behind Aoi, like over here, it would not be.
Yeah, you can still see them.
Okay.
You just need to be able to see them in some fashion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're taller than me.
Okay.
And you can, if there's an ally between you and an enemy, you can always go duck.
Duck.
So.
Okay, there. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna move and use my crossbow.
Okay. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
Yeah, as long as it's not a gun you're firing right by the rear.
21.
21's definitely a hit. Go ahead and actually choose even or odd.
Oh. Even.
Okay. As you sit there and you fire off your crossbow to the two remaining cloakers that you can see, you pierce one right through the heart, and then it disappears.
Well, at least we got the one left.
All right. Now, just because this is how your character was built, as your bonus action, you can use your crossbow holding in your offhand to make another attack if you'd like.
Okay. So yeah, I will attack the last one then.
Go for it. Make me another attack roll. So you guys watch as Crexney kind of comes out and she aims her hand crossbow, fires the first one. You see, whoosh, she very quickly, definitely hits. Go ahead and roll the damage. She very quickly kind of looks at it. You guys watch as the crossbow loads itself with a magical arrow as she fires it off. And what was the damage?
5.
5 points of damage. And this time you pierce it right through the wing, and you watch as the bolt sticks into it, and you watch as this dark black liquid, a little bit thicker than water, kind of comes out and starts cooling on the ground below it as the creature begins to bleed. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
Move Ogon closer.
Okay, go ahead and move Ogon wherever you would like.
That's it.
Okay. All right. That's going to bring us to... Okay. As you guys are sitting here, you hear some movement.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
And you see 4 more cloakers come out, and actually it's going to come right up here and is going to try to nom on Aoi from right above the boxes. Does a nat 1 hit you, Aoi?
No.
Ignore the 4 cloakers that all simultaneously have tried to attack you. It's also going to take a swipe with its tail, because it does still have multi-attack. Well, that's going to be an 18 versus your armor class.
I will use my reaction to shield.
Okay. So as it comes forward, it tries to kind of bite you and just kind of duck down, and it gets part of a box. It comes up and you see this barbed tail coming at you, and you just create this shield, and you watch as the barbs kind of strike against the shield and just scratch it. That ends its turn. Goes back to this one here. This is going to be strange. This one's going to fly right in here. And Reggie, you can choose Dex Acrobatics or Strength Athletics.
Ah, hell.
As it is going to attempt to... it goes directly for your lantern.
I'm going to go for Acrobatics because I have a +5 in that, and Athletics is only a +3.
Okay.
And that is it's not a nat 20, it's a dirty 20.
Okay, so as it comes down and it tries to kind of knock the little lantern out of your hands, you're able to kind of move out of the way and you see it kind of hit the ground. So it's actually going to try to attack you. Well, normally that would be a 22. However, with disadvantage, it's an 8.
Miraculously,
so it tries to bite you as well.
Miraculously, it misses me.
And that is the end of it.
It's so bright.
Turn. Smegwick, what you wanted to do?
All right. Free this thing. Now, question: these things are up in the technically they're flying up in the air, right?
Effectively, yes.
Okay, so if I were to cast Fairy Fire on them, I could do that without hitting Owie.
Yeah, you could effectively position it above, because the room itself, the ceilings are about 20 feet high. So if you aimed it towards the ceiling, you could hit them without hitting Owie.
Cool. All right. Okay, then I will. Then they just need. I will do that. Quicken spell once again. I will. Where's? Yep, Fairy Fire.
What's the
and Dexterity 16 saving throw?
They both fail
Yeah.
by remarkable amounts, like impressively bad amounts.
Now, I don't know.
I
don't know what that means to the mirror images. In regards to them failing,
all the mirror images would have.
I think it still apply, right?
Them as well. Yeah, you effectively the attack rolls have advantage still,
but still
it's random whether or not you hit a real one or not.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, you guys watch as Smegwick kind of extends his hand, and you watch him spray this pink flame out, and you watch as it kind of sticks to all 5 of the cloakers you can currently
Green glitter everywhere, bastards!
And I'm going to take a step back. I'm going to take an attack of opportunity. I got mirror images up.
Okay. So I'm first going to see if it even hits. 16?
That is the mirror image, but let me take a look here. If it's targeting me... Because first I have to see that first. If it's targeting me, and I have mirror images up. I have to roll a 6 or better. Okay, so it's going to hit me.
Okay. Unfortunately, as it hits you, you're going to take 10 piercing damage, and it attaches itself to you. So,
great.
Well, as a reaction, I was going to use shield. Because I was rolling to see if the mirror image if it hit me or the mirror image.
For shield, in general, I'm.
If it's a reaction.
Yeah. Normally, with reactions and things like that, you have to kind of decide to use them before you see the result of, like before you see, let's say, the damage roll on an attack. You would have to choose that you're going to use reaction.
You didn't give me the chance to say whether I was going to use my shield or not, because I was rolling first from a mirror image.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is with mirror image, it's effectively the same thing as waiting to see, well, can I take the damage or not? If you wanted to use shield, it would have needed to happen before you decided to see if it hit you or your
Okay.
Mirror image. Does that make sense? Because effectively, by the time it would, you'd have to see if it hit you or hit one of your mirror image. The hit has already happened. You wouldn't have enough time to create a shield to stop it from hitting you because it's already hit you.
Well, see, I was thinking like if I was not seeing if it's not necessarily saying like, oh, is it going to hit one of my shields? Like if I see it, if it's whether or not it's the attack's coming for me or not, was the way I was seeing it.
The mirror images are all technically right next to you, like they're sharing your same square. So the attack looks like it's coming towards you. Always, it's just whether or not. So,
okay.
So yeah, in this particular instance, you would have had to use the shield before checking to see, because it turns into basically an additional buffer that I don't think it's supposed to be, if that makes sense. To me, it's the same thing as, well, I'm going to see how much damage he rolls, and if the damage is high enough, then I'll shield. But if it's a low attack, then I'm not going to use my shield. Well, at that point, it's too late to use the shield. The attack already connected.
Okay, then I will. Now, am I done? Am I still able to move away, or am I stuck in place?
You're grappled. So, oh wait. No, you're not grappled. It's attached to you.
So it's gonna follow you.
So yeah, if you do that, it's gonna come with you. Is all.
Okay, well, there's no point in me moving then if it's kind of stuck to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
In your square.
Okay, so if it hits me then I will instead use. Where is it? There he is. Make me another dex save. Dexterity 16.
Yeah, no.
Guess what's coming, Jody?
I'm relatively like it's a D20. I'm relatively certain there are double-digit numbers on here. Like I know I can see them.
Let's see how many ones I can roll on 3 D10s.
So as this,
I rolled 2, so that's 8 fire damage.
So as Smegwick kind of blasts his fire. Oh wait, I literally just had a conversation about this. The wording in the player's handbook is if you cast a spell as a bonus action, which is what you just did. You just quickened Fairy Fire, right?
I quickened to cast Fairy Fire.
Okay. Because it is still your turn, you cannot cast another leveled spell unless it takes one action and is a cantrip.
It's a reaction.
So you can't cast that spell because the only spells that you can cast on your turn.
Oh, even as a reaction? Okay.
Yep. The specific wording is if you cast a spell with a bonus action, you can only cast a cantrip with a casting time of 1 action.
Darn.
And it excludes reactions from that. That's interesting.
Because it's happening on your turn, this is still your turn.
Yeah.
So the limit is, for the rest of your turn, the only spells you can cast are cantrips that have a casting time of 1 action. So any spell that is not a cantrip with a casting time of 1 action, you cannot cast.
Okay. Well then, so it's not taking. So to take that spell slot, I get back.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take the fire damage.
It was a whole conversation on r/D&D, and we went into all the things, and so yeah.
Okay.
You still have your reaction available. It's just because it's still your turn, you can't cast.
Okay. Well then, since it's in my face.
And you still have your action.
Yes. So that basically evens out to just a flat roll because I had advantage from the Fairy Fire, but it's a range attack from my Eldritch Blast. So it's just a flat roll now, right?
Yepers.
Okay, so, and still...
Or multiple flat rolls.
2 blasts. Yep, first blast. 18.
That hits.
That's 9 damage on the first one.
Okay.
And dirty 20 on the second.
That one misses, unfortunately. Roll damage.
14 on that second one.
Ooh, that's nice. All right, so you guys watch as this creature kind of attaches itself to Smegwick, and you guys have seen this happen before. Smegwick starts, you see these flames start to grow in his eyes, but then he just can't focus quite enough. So you watch him just go, and he just sticks his hand into it, and you watch as these two kind of bright green flashes of light happen as the creature just gets pummeled by these eldritch blasts.
Okay. By the way, fair is fair. I would have counted as the first one. I made my concentration check. How much damage did I take?
It was 10.
10. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. That's none for me then.
All right. That brings us to Owie.
Okay, so the one I'm facing currently has it's 3 doppelgangers.
Yes. You see a total of 4 of them in front of you.
Okay, I'm going to use a spin attack and use my 2 rapier strikes to hit the 2 closest to me.
All right. Go ahead and make me attack rolls.
Okay.
So you watch as
Remember,
Owie takes
remember you have advantage.
Oh yes.
Yes, you have advantage on all these.
Okay.
So you guys watch as Owie again takes a rapier, and she gets into a low fencing stance and just lunges up to try and impale at least one of them.
Burned so many spell slots.
18 because I'm using up the inspiration dice for this.
Choose even or odd.
Odd.
All right. So as you sit there and you start to thrust forward, you kind of move back a little bit, but you feel that kind of extra inspiration energy that Reggie gave you, and you kind of recorrect. You go up, and as you thrust in, you feel resistance as you actually go into this creature. Give me a damage roll.
All right. 12 points of piercing.
All right. Go ahead and make your second attack.
Yep.
You withdraw your blade and get ready to attack again into this kind of murder of cloakers.
Yeah, I'm going to finish the action. Dirty 20.
All right. Again, a hit. Go ahead and choose even or odd.
I hit the first one, right?
Yeah, the first time you actually hit the creature, but every time you make an attack roll until it's out,
oh, okay.
you have to figure out if you're going to hit it again. So even or odd?
Even.
Even. All right. You feel resistance again. Roll damage.
Yeah. 13 points.
All right. Yeah, so you stab it twice, and it looks pissed. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
Nope, I'm going to land with a cool 3-point stance.
Okay. You somehow hear a Russian voice. Oh, she's such a poser. Moving on, Reggie.
All right.
There's a cloaker buddy next to you, and 4 cloaker buddies over by Owie. What you wanted to do?
Okay.
One is impaled into me.
Okay.
He's just sitting there on somebody. You're going nom 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 nom.
Stop it! No!
See, it takes out a little wedge of lemon.
All right.
Sage.
Okay, so a couple
Rosemary.
things, because I apparently when I
powder.
did my prep before this fight, I I missed a step without thinking, so which is hopefully something I will rectify once this fight is over. That being said, Jody, remind me, if I were to switch from my bow to my rapier, is that an action or a bonus action?
So drawing a weapon, you can draw a single weapon as part of the attack action. Stowing a weapon is an action.
Okay, that's not going to work.
You can just drop, though.
Yeah, dropping it is free, but picking up a weapon would be an action later on. So.
Oh, then if that's the case, I am going to... All right, I'm going to quickly drop my bow, just let it go to the floor. I'm going to pull out my rapier.
Okay.
And if I can just find that again. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to rush over to the cloaker that's on top of Smegwick, and I'm going to slash at it with my rapier.
Okay.
And I have proficiency on this.
And there's only one of this one, right? Because all the other
ones are gone.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay, so I rolled an 18 plus proficiency. That's 21.
That definitely hits. Go ahead and roll the damage.
Okay. Oh, wait. Wrong one. Hold on. Ignore that one. That was for the bow. I clicked the wrong one. What the heck?
Rapier's a D8 if you just want to roll that. It'd be D8 plus your dex.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I didn't press the button. Okay, here we go. 8.
Okay, so as you sit there and you impale the thing, Smegwick, you feel a rapier pass into you. You take 4 points of damage.
What?
Oh, wait, this thing's... Did it engulf me? My understanding is it attached to me.
While it's attached to you, half of the damage it takes is taken by the person it's attached.
Oh shit.
Oh, I thought that was for engulfing only. Okay.
Theoretically, it is wrapped around you. Currently, it's just not wrapped around your head.
Which is good.
Okay, so how much am I taking then?
Just 4.
4.
Yeah. Once any of these are attached to you, it only takes half damage because the other half is taken by you.
See, I thought the tail snapped me and it was like plugged into me that way. I didn't realize it was snuggling on me.
No. The tail just slashes. It doesn't attach. The bite is the only thing that attaches it. So.
Yeah, it's like a big gigantic.
Question for you. Were you planning on using your sneak attack damage on that, or was that including your sneak attack? Because you would get sneak attack on this.
Oh, I wasn't thinking about that. I was just... I mean, I can quickly add my sneak attack, but I was not thinking about it. Once per turn, you can deal an extra 1d6. All right. This is 1 point of damage anyway, so that brought it up from 6 to 7.
Yep. It's not enough damage for you to take half, Smegwick, so it just takes a point of damage. Cool.
Oh, okay.
Anything else you want to... Yeah, you take no additional damage from this sneak attack because it's not enough.
Sorry.
Anything else you want to do with your turn?
I am going to use... I will end my turn by giving some bardic inspiration to Smegwick this time.
Okay.
D8.
Craxney, you're up.
And with that, I am going to have to bow out here. I put in the messages.
Okay.
All right. I am going to attack the one closest to Aoi with my longbow, with my longsword.
You're a little too far away to hit with your longsword.
I gotta move,
but
right?
you can. You could use your crossbow.
Oh, okay. Then I'll use my crossbow.
Okay. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
10.
Unfortunately, that misses. So as you fire off, it just goes as they're kind of moving in and out of each other. It just misses all of them and hits the ceiling behind them.
Okay.
However, because it has flame on it, you actually get advantage on the attack roll. So you actually roll 2d20 and take the higher of the two. So go ahead and make another attack roll.
This is way too late. Did that thing have disadvantage because of the bright light with
I rolled
Reggie?
the exact same number.
So that's still a miss, but you can bonus action shoot it again.
All right.
What was the question, Mrs. Smegwick?
Sorry, it just occurs. It's like, was that thing probably should have had disadvantage because of the light with Reggie? But I'm still gonna say it hit me, but that's something I should have remembered.
We're going back too many terms that I can't.
Yeah.
Even if I did roll it with.
I wasn't gonna redact it anything, but yeah.
So for my bonus, I got a dirty 20.
All right, that definitely hits. Go ahead and choose even or odd.
Did you roll with advantage?
That was you can roll. You can roll one more time to see if you get a crit.
Yeah.
Oh. No. 18.
Yeah. Okay. So even or odd.
Odd.
Don't go there. So I dropped my d20. So as you sit there, another one of the fake winds disappears.
Sure.
Anything else you want to do with your turn?
No.
All right. Moving forward. The one near Owie is going to try and nom on Owie again.
No, the lantern does have disadvantage on Owie.
The hooded lantern, if I remember correctly, only gives 15 feet of bright light. And because it's up in the rafters and everything, it's just slightly outside of the bright light range.
Because I don't know, like, yeah, I guess the angle, yeah.
So that's going to be, math is hard, 18 versus your armor class, Owie.
I'm going to shield again.
Again, it's like, it's going to come around with its tail. That's a 3. Ignore that. It's done with its turn. We go to the one that's nomming on you. Now it gets a flat roll because it has advantage on creatures it's attached to.
Yeah.
Well, that's a 9 for the bite. And the tail its attack is at the 13.
16's my AC.
All right, so it sits there and it keeps trying to dig more in, and you're kind of fighting with it. And it's not able to get more. You see the tail come by and just out of the way. Smegwick, it's your turn.
Now the thing, essentially the thing is still attached to me, right? And I can't.
Yes.
I can't. Okay.
If you want to, you can use your action to detach it. You need a strength check.
Yeah, I have a -1, so no. But I can still see, according to what you said, right?
Yeah, it's attached to you, but it's not on your head.
Okay. You're making me use spell slots! And I'm going to use a bonus action to cast Misty Step. And I'm just going to Misty Step out of its grapple.
Cool. Where are you Misty Stepping to?
Question. So if I were to hypothetically be like right here, I can shoot it fine, no problem?
Yeah, you can see it.
Okay. All right, cool. I'm going to be right here. I got advantage on my shots. Okay, that's an action. $21 to hit. It hits.
21 definitely hits. Go ahead and roll the damage.
13 damage on the first one. And this thing is me good and pissed. So on top of that, 13 damage on the attack. I'm going to use Fury of the Small, because I haven't used this yet for my goblin. That means that 13 is going to get an extra 7 added to it. So that's 20 damage on that Eldritch Blast.
So as you sit there and fire this Eldritch Blast, it goes towards the Cloaker, who's just sitting there. It's like, hits it in the face. It goes against the wall and splats. Slowly goes down the wall with a pool of dark black blood pooling around it. It is dead.
Oh, it's dead? Oh, great.
Nice.
5, 10, 15, 20. Great, I can just run out of here. I'm back!
Peekaboo.
Welcome back.
My second shot, the Eldritch Blast. I'm presuming that's how it works, yes? Because I get 2 shots. I can move and do the second one. Okay. Advantage on that one. 8 on both. 16.
16.
I think you said that hits, right?
Yeah, that definitely hits.
Okay, and on that one. That was a spinner. It's 11 damage. But I have to. I'll go odds.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Stop it.
I play fair.
Yeah, you definitely hit it. So your second Eldritch Blast hits it, and then you see it actually reel back a little bit. It doesn't fade into nothingness. Anything else you wanted to do with your turn?
I still got a little bit of movement. I'll just back up. Yeah, I'll move right here.
Okay.
I'll be good.
And just as an FYI, because you're not making multiple attacks, you're actually casting a spell that fires multiple bolts. Normally, I would say you can't move between them because it's one action that you're doing is cast a spell.
That's why I asked,
things. However, the cloaker you killed only had 1 hit point when you killed it.
Oh.
So I was not going to let you waste.
Sorry, way overkill on that one.
Yeah, I was not going to let you waste your second one just because it had 1. That's why I was hoping that the sneak attack would do more than 1 point of damage because he just needed 1 more point of damage to kill it.
Aww.
Normally, I wouldn't give you guys tips on how to play your characters, but
Well, that's why I asked you, so I'm fine with that.
yeah. Owie, what you wanted to do?
I'm going to use Shocking Grasp and I can't remember my own features. Let's see. Oh, yeah, that's right. I'll cast Shocking Grasp, and because I have War Magic, I'm going to use my rapier as a bonus action.
Okay. No, I get what you're saying. Okay, cool. Make your Shocking Grasp attack first.
Yep. Yeah, I had to remember that one. Alright. And this is still with advantage?
Yep.
Okay. That's 17.
Definitely hits. Even or out?
Even.
Right. You feel resistance as you hit it. Go ahead and roll the damage.
Alright. Ooh, nice. 30 points of lightning.
You say 13?
Yes, I did. I rolled a 7 and a 6.
I thought you said 30 for a second there. I'm like, cantrip's got a lot more powerful than I remember.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make your second attack with your rapier.
Yep.
So you guys watch as she kind of holds her rapier and you see this kind of lightning
Roll
kind of shooting out.
20!
Not bad.
Nice.
Don't even worry. With a nat 20, you're going to actually hit it. Go ahead and roll your damage. So you guys watch as she kind of ignites her rapier, and you see lightning going up of it. She thrusts it in, and you see all this lightning go out, and the creature howls in pain.
Holy crap, she knows the Bankai.
I'm coming!
Then she kind of reaches back, and she thrusts directly into the creature, and you hear...
Oh.
Sword strike! Trust to heaven!
Alright. 19 points of piercing.
Damn.
Right?
All right. How do you want to do this?
Okay, yeah, I'm going to do the spin attack again. But the electricity is still like flowing around me as I complete the maneuver.
Okay, so you guys watch as she ignites the rapier, and she reaches up and she brings it back down. She climbs up. She steps up onto one of the boxes and starts kind of hopping between them. Goes into the air, starts spinning as lightning is shocking around her, and she eventually plunges into the creature, carrying it all the way down, pinning it to the floor of the storeroom. As more lightning kind of shocks out the creature. You see the remaining false images kind of melt away, and you see the creature on the floor dead.
And she shakes up the extra lightning like a dog, head to tail.
Unfortunately, that is where we're going to end it for tonight because it's gotten very, very late. As always, if you missed any of this, we do put all these on my YouTube channels, youtube.com/TrainerJody. I upload them on Sundays. Otherwise, again, that is all for me today, and I'll see you guys next time. All right? Bye-bye.
Bye.